Hey guys, it's AJ the Flipping Ninja. This podcast episode, I'm going to talk to you about the feeling of being down and out, the feeling of being just totally burned out and just like, totally, no motivation. You're just totally out of it. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're flipping stuff, whether you're working at a job, whether you're in school, whether you're a parent, no matter what you do, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, you will have those moments. I mean, it's no different whether you're an entrepreneur or you're working at a 9 to 5 job. Sometimes you're going to have those moments, those days where you're just feeling super down or super just not with it, right? You just have no motivation. You just feel, stressed, or you feel depressed maybe, or you feel slow, you feel paralyzed. So in this episode, I'm just going to talk about a few things you can do if you're ever feeling that way, right? Because it happens to all of us. I mean, it might not happen too often, but I'm talking when it does happen, when you really just wake up one day and you're just like, I'm totally not feeling this. Like I said, it doesn't matter what it is. What should you do? So that's what I'm going to talk about in this episode.
Do you want more control over your life? More freedom? More confidence? Do you want to set your own rules and steer your own ship? Are you sick and tired of the 9 to 5 grind that's eating away at you and robbing you of all your time, barely getting you by? How about a new way? A new side hustle, side income you can use now to do things like pay off debt, buy a new car, wipe away credit card bills and student loans, remodel your home, take exotic vacations, fancier dates, buy your friends a round of drinks, send a nice gift to your family. How about an emergency fund or even a down payment for a house? And so much more. Welcome to the Flipping Ninja Podcast, where we teach you how to take charge of your life and make your own money flipping things on your spare time. Sound complicated? We'll cover it all, from what to buy, where to look, marketing and selling tactics that create demand, and bring you top dollar, research, pricing, creating ads that sell like crazy, and even powerful principles on the inner game of success. So if the idea of being your own boss is exciting, you're in the right place. Now, here's your host, the world's leading authority on flipping, AJ, from theflippingninja.com, unplugged and unleashed.
Hey guys, it's AJ, the Flipping Ninja. I wanted to record a quick podcast for you. This podcast is a little different from what we usually talk about. We usually talk about things like making money flipping things, mindset, hustle, selling, buying, how to market, how to advertise, and how to make money on your spare time flipping. We usually talk about things like that, but this one is going to be a little different, and the reason I want to talk about it is because it's just as important, if not more important, than those other things, and a lot of it has to do with your own sense of well-being, your mindset, and making sure that you're okay, making sure that you're constantly in a state of resourcefulness and you are looking out for yourself. So basically, it's the topic of this podcast is what to do when you're just down and out. You know, what to do when you lose motivation, what to do when you're just not feeling good, right? I mean, the truth of the matter is we can learn all the techniques of making money flipping. We could learn all the strategies, all the techniques, all the tactics. We could learn every step in the world there is on how to do this, right? But the fact of the matter is that, ultimately, you're a human being at the end of the day, right? I mean, you're not a machine, you're not a robot, as much as we want to believe and think we're robots and machines, and a lot of the times we are, right? I mean, a lot of the times we're doing so well, we've got our momentum going, but there comes moments in your life, in your journey, where you just lose it. I mean, when I say lose it, I mean you just hit this funk, this mental funk where it's almost like your spark just went out. That motivation is gone. You're not motivated. You don't have energy. You don't have drive. You don't even have desire to want to do any of it. You're not, you literally, some people will call it laziness. It might look like laziness on the outside, but we're not talking about laziness here. What we're talking about is when you're just feeling down or depressed, or, something is off and you know it. You're not feeling too good. And you start to feel slow. You're not doing what you normally do. It's almost like you're crippled or you're paralyzed. Mentally, You can't really explain it, but you have those moments. And I want to tell you, I want to just reassure you that that's totally normal. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you when you have those times. There's nothing wrong with you when you have those moments where you're down. You don't have any motivation for anything, or you feel bad. And that's the other thing. When you're feeling down with no motivation, you start to feel bad, right? Because you're like, I know I'm supposed to go out and be doing this. I feel so behind. I'm not doing it. Oh my God. And for a lot of you, if flipping, for example, is your source of main income and living, it could be even more of a heavy feeling on you, right? So that's what this podcast is going to be about, and basically how to quickly get over that, how to quickly acknowledge it, accept it, just let it pass through you so that you can come back even better, even stronger, and even more potent, right? So first thing I want to say is we always talk about, positive thinking, hustle, like be positive, hustle mindset, go out there and just kill it, But like I said, you will have a time where you will just crash, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be with flipping. I mean, it could be you just wake up one day and for some reason, you don't know why, but it's just like that spark isn't there. That drive and motivation isn't there. And it's not that you are lacking during those times. It's not that you're not built for this, or you're not the right one, or you just don't have it in you. That's totally not what it is. Just because you have those phases doesn't mean that becomes your identity, right? So that's the first thing I want you to realize is it's normal, right? Just like the changing of the seasons, right? So just like you've got, different seasons. We've got winter, we've got summer, we've got spring, we've got fall. I mean, when it's summer, when it's beautiful, when everything's going perfect, that's one thing, right? That's fine. That's awesome. But the changing of the seasons, it's only a matter of time before the winter season comes, right? And when winter comes, a lot of people don't like winter. It's cold, it's dark, there's not a lot of daylight, and they kind of have this down period, right? Now, similarly to the changing of the seasons, you may have times where you're doing really well, you feel awesome, you feel motivated, you feel on top of the world, you're making all this money, you feel confident, you feel in control, you feel powerful. But there will be times where you maybe don't feel those things, or things aren't going like that all the time, right? I mean, you'll have your ups and downs. So it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's not that you are having issues. It's just part of like the changing of the seasons. It's going to come and it's going to pass and it's going to be done. And we're going to move on to something better. Okay. So I've got 5 key tips for you, the 5 steps to getting through those times, getting through those periods of just, feeling depressed, feeling not motivated, feeling down, feeling slow, feeling, like you don't have confidence, feeling self-doubt, feeling like, you're just not meant for this. I've got 5 tips for you guys to keep in mind and do when you're going through those periods. So the first one, or step number 1, is just slow down and stop. So just slow down. So contrary to what you hear in this world of, hustle, grind, just go out there and work. Contrary to that, the first step is you just have to stop and slow down. So, I mean, literally slow down your thoughts. Just slow everything down. Calm down. Meditate. Whatever it takes for you. Just literally sit down and slow down. Okay, chill. Slow everything down and put everything on pause. Just get yourself in a totally relaxed state, because a lot of times when we're in those depressed, down, low motivation states, we are, first of all, we're not in a resourceful state. When you're feeling depressed or down, you're literally viewing the world through this lens that is completely not resourceful. It's not a good lens to view the world through. So when you're in a bad state like that, you've got all these thoughts going back and forth. You've got all these thoughts just, every negative thought becomes amplified. Every worry just becomes amplified. So the first step is slow down. Slow down your thoughts and just stop, right? Just relax. Just slow down your thoughts and calm down and don't even think about it anymore, right? So that's the first step. The second step is you want to get yourself out of that state. Well, getting yourself out of that state will come, but specifically what you want to do is you don't want to do things like work or hustle or, these things that you normally do. You don't want to do those things while you're in this unresourceful state, while you're in this funk, right? So what you want to do, the second step is do something that is 100% unrelated to flipping, 100% unrelated to making money or working or, and I rarely say this, but again, this is when you're truly in one of those mental funks where you feel burned out, like just to give you an idea of what I mean. I'm not talking about just having like a down day or just like feeling lazy. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about specifically is those moments where you truly just kind of mentally, in a sense, hit rock bottom, right? Like to kind of give you an idea of what I mean, this rarely happens to me. It'll maybe happen once or twice a year to me. But when it does, it's not the same as just having an off day. I mean, it's much deeper and different. Like I said, on the outside, it may look like you're just being lazy and other people may not understand what you're going through, but it's much, much deeper than that. And if you've been through something like this, then you know what I'm talking about, right? So the first step is to just slow down your thoughts, slow everything down, relax, and just breathe, right? Second thing is do something that's totally unrelated to it. So do something that you normally enjoy doing, for example, whether it's a movie or whatever it is, something that is totally unrelated to work, to flipping, to making money, to, Craigslist ads, whatever it is. You want to do something totally unrelated. So that's the second thing. The third step you want to do is you want to change your environment. Okay, change your routine. You want to break your pattern. You want to interrupt your pattern and your surroundings. So that means if you're constantly just at work and then you come home, maybe go to the gym, that's your normal routine. You want to change your environment. So get out of your house, get out of your regular surroundings that you're normally at. So that means go somewhere new, put yourself in a new environment that you're not used to being in, right? Because a lot of times when you're just constantly at home or you're in this repetitive routine of physically where you're at, most of the time, something as simple as changing your environment is extremely powerful for changing your state, changing how you feel, right? I mean, go outside, take a walk in nature, go somewhere outside that you normally never go to. Go to a store or somewhere. It doesn't really matter what it is. Go to someone's house. Just completely change your environment, right? Because the moment you change your environment, it will change your state. It'll help to get you out of this mental funk, right? So that's the third step, change your environment. Fourth step is just get some sleep. I mean, a lot of times when you don't have motivation, it could be accumulated stress or accumulated events that happened that's just kind of, nagging at you. Just get some sleep. Just sleep on it. I mean, you always hear that, right? Just like sleep on it, or, sleep and you'll feel better in the morning. It's actually really true. I mean, just sleep on it. So get a good night's rest, or even if it's during the day, just go to sleep. Rest your mind, recover your body so that you could come back even stronger, right? So that's the fourth step. The fifth step is you want to do all these steps that I just mentioned for a day. Do it for 2 days. Do it for 3 days, however long it takes. Just like when you go to the gym and you work out your muscles, right? You're breaking down your muscle fibers. You're literally breaking down the fibers so that you can, go home and recover and sleep so that they can rebuild. For example, a lot of people think, lifting weights builds muscle, but lifting weights doesn't actually build muscle. It's lifting weights breaks down your muscle fibers. It's the rest and recovery and sleep that you do after lifting weights. That is what builds muscle. Because when you're actually lifting the weight, you're putting tension, you're putting stress on your muscles, that you're breaking down the muscle fibers, right? But it's actually when you walk away and you rest and you sleep, recover, that's when you're actually building the muscle. Your muscle fibers that you just tore apart, they're regrowing stronger, right? So similarly, just like when you go work out and you go recover, you need recovery time. Same thing for this. So repeat the above steps I mentioned for, 2 days, 3 days, however long it takes, and you'll come back even stronger, even more motivated. You'll come back with this newly developed mindset and thinking and just potential that you didn't even have before. So I hope those helped. Like I said, the first step is slow down and stop and just relax. Slow down your thoughts, calm down. Second step is do something totally unrelated to flipping. Do something that, and it's hard for a lot of, like, for example, a lot of entrepreneurs out there, you're constantly just thinking about work. I mean, I'm the same way. It doesn't matter if you're on vacation or what, you're constantly working or wanting to work. You can't just sit down and relax, right? So you have to force yourself. For some of you, this is easy, but for others, it's really hard to get away from working, right? Because that's just what we do, right? So force yourself to go do something unrelated, right? That's step number 2. Step number 3, change your environment. So go somewhere physically where your environment is totally different. Interrupt your patterns and break your patterns, your surroundings. Step number 4, get some sleep. Step number 5, just do the above steps for 2-3 days or however long it takes, right? So do those things, guys. I guarantee you, I know it's hard. I know it's hard when you're going through those mental funks, but you do that and you will come back even better. You'll come back with this new energy, this new light. Don't ever make the mistake of thinking that that's your identity. Don't ever self-loathe or feel sorry for yourself. Just remember, understand that when you're in that funk where everything is just sucky, it's really hard. You're not in a resourceful state. So just remember one thing and just think about the seasons, right? Just like when it's winter time, you can't forcefully make it summer. You can't snap your fingers and make it summer. You just let it pass. Next thing you know, it's summer. It's beautiful. The winter is over. You're in a new season. So I hope that helps. Like I said, we all have our moments where we might go through things like that. So if you're ever feeling down, you're ever feeling like you're depressed, or you lost motivation, or you're just like, oh my God, I'm so tired of this. I can't do this. Like all this flipping stuff. Like I'm so turned off by all of it. I just want to give up and quit. Hey, don't worry about it. It doesn't mean you suck. It doesn't mean you're not built for this. I myself go through those periods, and I'm the one who, publishes all this information on flipping, right? So it's okay. If you have those days where you're just like, screw this, I hate this, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? Just know that when you do have those moments, follow those steps that I mentioned above, or just a second ago, and just know that we're still going to be here for you as your support system. I'm still going to be around, and I'm gonna be there. Like I know that everyone goes through those periods, but it's just like, know that you're not alone. That's another thing. Know that you're not alone in this, and you've got someone there to who has their hand reached out to you, waiting, so you can grab onto their hand and just get back up and keep going and become super successful, right? So I hope that helps, guys. And remember, like I always say, you're always just one flip away from freedom. But if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you are not motivated, you're just not feeling it, that's totally fine. I know that it's just going to take a couple days, a week, however long it takes, you're going to feel good again. You're going to be back to normal. You're going to be out of that funk,
and you are going to be ready to go and kill it. Peace.
This has been the Flipping Ninja Podcast. From the crew at theflippingninja.com, we believe that all Americans should be able to make their own money without having to rely on a job. If you're ready to ditch the 9-to-5, visit theflippingninja.com and join our Flipping Ninja Blueprint Masterclass, where you'll discover how to earn a reliable side income of $1,000 to $5,000 a month flipping things with just 5 to 10 hours a week. See, we're on a mission to help 100,000 people earn $1,000 a month on the side flipping things. Working professionals, students, parents, men, women, artists, techies, entrepreneurs, introverts, total newbies, you name it. Be a part of the revolution and blast out of living paycheck to paycheck once and for all at www.theflippingninja.com. Until next time, remember, you're just one flip away from freedom. Want to make a difference? If you enjoyed today's show, please pay it forward and head over to iTunes. Give us a rating and leave a review so others just like you can benefit and take charge of their financial future.